Hey, it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's time for the Greg Cherry Show. Thank you all for joining us here today. I am, of course, the reigning WTC champion. Blocked by the microphone. There it is. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Reigning WTC champion, Greg Cherry, joined alongside the new Jack of all trades champion, Jeff Meacham, and of course, the man who runs the show in combat wrestling trivia, JB3. What is up, gentlemen?
You know what? It's a great day. The weather is down just a little bit here in Michigan. It's been a hot week last week. So today was a less of a sweat day and more of a fun day. And now I get to be on the Greg Cherry Show. So it just caps it off the right way.
Absolutely.
It's a high of 75 outside, Greg. It's only 73 right now. And both you and I are champions on the WTC brand. The end is nigh. Here we go. That's it.
Well, speaking of the end is nigh, that leads us into our first topic. That, of course,
jump right in, brother.
Yeah. On today's show, we're going to be talking about several things. If you saw the title of the video, we're talking about it. Is NXT done? Like that's a big talking point on Twitter. In fact, RIP NXT was trending on Twitter just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And to lighten the mood a little bit, we're going to talk about some weird state laws again. We brought it back because we know how popular it was, and we feel we haven't done it in a few weeks, maybe a few months, honestly.
Yeah.
So I decided we're going to go alphabetically so I can keep them in line. We're going to go through all 50, and it'll just be a good time. And, of course, as always, the Wednesday Q&A. Jeff, JB3, the news broke today that Bruce Prichard and Vince McMahon are taking over NXT. I'm not sure where that leaves Triple H and Shawn Michaels as far as taking care of the show, but that news, especially with them really in charge of running the Raw brand as well, has put some fans on edge, and understandably so, because for the better part of a year, Raw has been not exactly the best wrestling show to watch. Granted, they're sports entertainment, whatever. We'll get into technicalities later. But NXT has been like the highlight of WWE's 3 shows. SmackDown is definitely great. I'm not taking away from that. But NXT, for the longest time, was far and away the best wrestling show to watch. And now it seems like NXT is becoming... we don't know what it's becoming. I mean, we saw the logo change, but what exactly is that going to mean for NXT? Jeff, I'll start with you.
As somebody who, for most of the last 7 years, has not gone out of his way to watch Raw or SmackDown when they air, but has made it a point to make sure they catch NXT when it airs. A little worrisome. I mean, at the end of the day, everything evolves, everything changes. Triple H told us in that promo years ago, you either adapt or you perish. The unfortunate part is his brand, his vision, his idea is now adapting into a form being directly controlled now by his father-in-law and by Brother Love, if you will. And like you said, much like this COVID-19 thing where we're going to have, 20 people stand at podiums and go, here's what you should do. No one knows what they're doing. They don't. And they, for whatever reason, don't have an explanation as to why their ratings are so god-awful. I'm not saying that the ratings are awful Mondays, because there's been some Mondays where you think, oh, okay, well, maybe there's a light at the end of that tunnel. The problem is from a fan's perspective, from my perspective, Vince is overextending his reach even more than he already has. He just turned 76 this week?
Yep.
This last week? There's going to come a time, despite his belief to the contrary, where his batteries will expire and he will shut down. The cyborg will die. So, why put yourself in charge of something that has been so good, so consistent, and, honestly been your fans, for lack of a better term, favorite brand, and not only take the guy in charge away from it, the person who developed it and nourished it and made it its own thing, but then put yourself and the guy that, people just universally pan when he's in charge at the head of that proverbial table. I don't like it. And, somebody asked in the chat room if this is a direct reaction to AEW having their popularity surge. It's like, yeah, maybe, but is this the right way to do it? I don't think so. And, JB3, I mean, you've been a fan a long time yourself. So I'm sure you're sitting here, doing what you're doing right now, pretty much stroking the chin going, what the hell is going to happen next?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you said it though. It turned from the game show into what we loved and adored. It was our professional wrestling that we got to watch in the sports entertainment company. And yeah, I mean, you could say AEW is a big contribution to that. Or, I think a lot of things is, I think Triple H is the scapegoat because he was building his brand. And then before even any of this happened, I mean, we've seen this coming for a long time. I mean, even about a year or two ago when he just took Aleister Black, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, and Ciampa and Gargano went back. They were short-lived, but he just scooped them. And he kept on doing it over and over and over again. And he consistently did not pay attention to any of the storylines or any of the stories that were being told in NXT. He consistently brought them up and just started afresh, like they were fresh from developmental. He was treating all those stars like they were fresh out of OVW or something. I think that one of the problems is I think Vince always seen NXT as that. And I think he just allowed Triple H to have his influence in it. And now, he's going to take it away because, well, there's, like you said, multiple reasons. AEW, and then Nick Khan, he's there. He's running crazy things going on with him and making a bunch of decisions and doing a bunch of things. So RIP NXT, basically, I think it's going to go back to there. You remember the small era after the game show, before the NXT championship, that tiny era where it was just kind of building to that? I think that's probably what we're going to get enhanced a little bit.
I said this weeks ago, and I think it may have been on this show, Greg, or it may have been some of the other shows I do, because I seem to do more shows in a day than there are days in a week. But anyway, we'll figure out my schedule and my sleeping patterns later. NXT very much feels like ECW. And what I mean by that is it's too big to be small, too small to be big. They are a developmental territory by design, by influence, by the way they're set up. By that definition, we shouldn't be seeing these young kids who we've never seen before in a 2-hour primetime broadcast television show. That's not good for their business as far as having to, granted, wrestling, you throw somebody in the deep end, you see the sink or swim. I'm not necessarily opposed to that pattern, right? But, when it was NXT, when it stopped being the competition show, when it started being just a regular, at the time, hour TV show that if you didn't, have access on the internet in the United States, you couldn't see that unless you had to freaking figure out somewhere to pirate the feed, and, it arrived, literally arrival in 2014 on the freshly launched WWE Network. I think anything past it being brought to USA Network, in our eyes, to combat the launch of Dynamite has been a step in the completely wrong direction.
Now, part of me wonders, and I've been thinking about this a lot, especially with the reveal of the new logo and with the news that broke today about Vince and Bruce taking over. It just kind of sparked this topic. But I wanted to bring up that I feel like what a lot of people either miss or ignore about WWE is not a wrestling company, at least not anymore. And once people get that once they realize that WWE is not just strictly pro wrestling anymore, and that pro wrestling is actually like a very small part of the WWE. It's become a corporate, like ridiculous structure, and they do a lot of good work. They do a lot of good work with charities and all that stuff, and like the deals that they broker to get the TV on. The pro wrestling side of it, the actual shows are not as important, I think, to Vince as it should be, because he's busy with other stuff. He's busy brokering deals with other companies, and he feels like WWE basically sells itself at this point. So, and it comes across sometimes with the product. It comes across that way very much so with Raw. Hopefully not as much with NXT. SmackDown is earning their money. I'll say that. I mean, they had a $1 billion contract with Fox. They kind of have to put all their stock. And I feel like it's also doing WWE a disservice to downplay and I don't want to say be unaffected with what Raw and NXT are doing, but Raw and NXT are both on USA, which is an NBC-owned network. And what else is owned by NBC? Peacock. So that's a very big deal that you want to focus on the, like, you advertise Peacock all the time for the pay-per-views, for WrestleMania, for, you know, SummerSlam, for whatever's coming up next. Hell in a Cell. No, they did Hell in a Cell. But it's one of those things that why aren't you putting more focus into what, not that SmackDown doesn't need it, but why aren't you putting the focus with Raw and with NXT, which are on the networks, which you basically sold the WWE network to that parent company? Like, why would you not put the focus there? Or maybe that's why they're taking over NXT. I don't know. I'm not in that boardroom. I don't get paid enough.
Two things to reply to with that. First of all, you hit it right on the head. You know, what did prior to this, and we've lost JB3.
I took him out because he was frozen. So.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Prior to this point in history, almost 20 years ago, if you figure we passed 20 years in March.
Yeah.
What was the main problem we gave WCW? They were not a wrestling company. They were a television company that happened to produce a wrestling television program that, for many years, was very successful at 6:05 in the afternoon on Saturdays. WWE was always the wrestling company that, oh yeah, we have a TV show to get our point across.
Yeah,
you said it, Greg. They're not that company anymore. They are a multimedia, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that has so many hands and so many cookie jars that, you know, their hands are all stuck trying to get the sweets, and they're not realizing, you know, their favorite pastries right there in front of the world for everybody to grab onto. The other thing you mentioned, they literally sold their franchise property, Monday Night Raw, you know, down the river in terms of, okay, well, you're on the NBC property along with NXT now, so you're going to get ignored whether we meant to do that way or not, because Fox has given us $2 billion, so we're going to make sure we get that teat suckled first.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to interrupt this conversation, but I did see that Brett Storm is in the chat.
Yes.
And Brett, I owe you for not addressing your super chat on Thursday for the post show of Jack of All Trades. I owe you something. He mentioned that I'm sure this will be a great show. I'm predicting Tempest will win. Will that jinx him? Probably. And it kind of did.
And it sure did.
But you did donate. You did donate the $5. So since I forgot to do that, you, sir, are getting a free spin of the wheel. And if you want another one, feel free to donate. But you're getting a free spin of the wheel. And Marshall, I have seen your question. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring it. It's just a lot to talk about as far as this goes.
Yes.
But
blame Vincent Bruce for that, Marshall.
Yeah. So, Brett, here you go with your spin. And again, for anybody who is new to the show or not familiar with the show or whatever, for every $5 you donate, you get a chance to spin this wheel. I can cut a promo, I can sing songs, I can dance, I can do entrances. Whatever it lands on the wheel is what happens. So feel free to donate if you so choose. The link should be in the YouTube video somewhere or in the description. If you need it again, let me know. Or you can send a regular super chat because I'm monetized now. So yay. All right, here we go. Brett, with your spin.
A sound effect with it.
Gone past the bankrupt. Cut a promo. Just barely. Yeah, cut a promo, Brett.
It was almost macho time.
Almost macho time. But Brett, let me know what you want me to cut a promo on, or any of us, really. I mean, this is one that all of us can be involved in. So.
Talk about NXT. Promo school is a huge thing at NXT, or at least it was when Dusty was running things. So.
And that was also a backstage segment for anybody that remembers that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. On the, that brief time that show had any relevancy whatsoever. When CM Punk was there, of course. You know, so.
Yep. So Brett, let me know what you want us to cut a promo on. Tizzle Fizzle is in the house. JB3.
So
yes, Tizzle Fizzle.
Tazzle Fazzle.
Yes. Tazzle Fazzle.
T to the F, yo.
If you don't understand that, well, it airs this Sunday, right, JB3?
That match will be airing Monday at 5
Monday.
p.m.
Okay.
Eastern. Yeah, there will be a match airing Sunday as well. It's a 2-day, 2-match event.
Yes. So,
Extravaganza.
So, oh boy.
Oh shit. That figures.
Cut a promo on Jeff Meacham.
Did we get enough of that going into the Iron Man match? I mean, really.
Right. Okay, so I'll tell you what. This is actually the perfect lead-in to this. So I'm going to let JB3 cut a promo on Jeff because later this month, JB3 is going to be one of Jeff's opponents on Jack of All Trades.
God. Oh,
so,
man.
It's going to be Jeff Meacham versus JB3 versus Brandon Rutledge versus Adam Pearson. JB3, you're getting your wish and a title shot with everybody get called out. And now you get to trash talk the champ right here. So
I bought that whiteboard for a grand total of one match. Cool.
You're going to have me cut a promo. Okay.
Well, actually, two, because you had to win the title somehow. Anyway.
True.
Yeah, get ready for JB3 to cut a promo on Mr. Meacham.
So, first off, I'd like to say this. Before any promo, any of this spin shenanigans, Greg, you just now tell me that I'm going to have a Jack of All Trades title match. So, and I get two of the players that I called out plus Jeff, the champion. Okay. So this is how it's going to be. Okay. Jeff, you started in Jack of All Trades in one match against people who kind of know the format because of Quizlemania, but you joined when the match was seasoned, when the format was seasoned. And yes, you were impressive. You got your victory. You got your win. You got your championship title. That's all good things that all happen. It's unfortunate for someone like me. First match, brand new format. Got teamed with Nico Suave Vergoli, who pretty much ruined the entire round for me. So the reason I bring that up is this. I'm not in that situation anymore. You've had one match. I've had one match. You won. I lost by 1 point. By only 1 point. Through everything, through all the bullshit, excuse my language, through everything, I still only lost by 1 point on a brand new format. So this I say to you, Jeff Meacham. That's right. And that's what you're going to be when this match is over. Because I called out Adam Pearson. I love Adam Pearson. I'm going to call him out probably in a lot of matches. Brandon Rutledge, he is furious. Of course I called him out. And plus they were in the match and it was kind of random. But I've never called you out. I've always showed you respect. I've always showed you that good respect from peer to peer, wrestling fan to wrestling fan, wrestling YouTube personality to wrestling YouTube personality. And now we're going to be facing each other. It's unfortunate that you're the champion because when that day comes, I will destroy you so bad that you will not only retire from Jack of all trades, you'll never play in WTC again. And I want you afterwards to play in Combat Wrestling Trivia.
Oh my.
Just so you can be exposed like everybody else has.
Them are fighting words.
So, let's see, do I stay in character or do I just roll over and die here? So, to be fair to, if you want to be fair to Meech, you got to be fair to Meech here and say, I was called into that Jack of all trades thing literally last minute. Didn't intend to go anywhere past, oh, wait, I won. Oh, shit. So, I feel like Terry Funk on the World Championship DVD. It's like, oh, I got this thing. Here I am. And what do I do now? I will say this. Just because I was called into duty last minute and pulled off the reserves or out of retirement, I dare say, I did retire from this whole thing. I was done. This guy scared me off. I'm good with it. Do you really think it's because I came out of retirement and got lucky? Do you think I'm just going to roll over and let you just take something that I earned, take something that I feel the need to hang on to, feel the need to represent myself and the WTC brand of it? Let's not kid ourselves. If it wasn't for me, there would be no WTC brand, first of all, because the only 4-time world champion, the guy that carried that brand for years until this guy came up and said, hold my non-alcoholic beverage because, well, he doesn't drink and he's cool by me on that. Don't think for one second that me getting lucky doesn't mean I'm still not the same confident, cocky asshole everybody saw in the first season and a half of WTC, buddy. You want to come and take my championship away? You go right ahead and try, my friend. And as far as me coming on Combat Zone, you want me into your world, and that's fine because some people just want to watch the world burn. I'm one of them.
There you go. And yes, Tizzle Fizzle, JB3 out here selling the title match. Yes, the Fight for the Right match, which we were talking about earlier, is going to be happening on Monday. And yes, T-Fame and I are both a part of that match alongside several other strong wrestling trivia minds. One of the most intense things I think anybody could ever be involved in. Yeah, so if you want to see what happens when that goes down, check it out this Monday over on the Combat Wrestling Trivia YouTube channel. Now, have we got all of our NXT stuff out of the way? Because I mean, we covered it for quite a bit. And yes, Brett, you did get 2 promos for the price of 1.
Yes, exactly.
But it's a promo battle that and
it's
yes,
you didn't be needed.
And yes, he is selling the Jack of all trades title too. It is.
Oh yeah, love it. Gotta love JB3. Gotta love that.
I mean, you figure Jeff beat 3 guys from Wrestle Talk. So, and Tempest is not exactly a slouch. I mean, you beat the reigning Quizlemania champion. So, unfortunately, it's not like an AEW thing where people can defend their titles on different shows. But
right.
If that was the case, then, I would ask you to do the Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant thing and be like, here's the Quizlemania championship. And then they'd have to vacate it and have a tournament and be a cluster. All right. So we move from our discussion of NXT and the Jack of all trades match later this month to weird state laws. It's back.
Yeah, baby. Now, I know you're going alphabetical, which is why Alabama came up first, because if you're if you know your states, that Alabama's obviously first. But I do want to point out, I didn't have a chance to talk about it much on the on Talk Wrestling this week. How cool was it for us wrestling fans, for a fellow wrestling fan, and hey, Conrad Thompson on NWA 73 Sunday night. Very cool to see him in that commentary booth. that guy was sitting there as a little kid, lusting after the big gold bells years ago, and of course he owns the damn thing now. But he was in the booth for the National Wrestling Alliance. Had to be too cool for him. It was too cool for me to watch as a fan. So, in honor of Conrad, where state laws starts with Alabama, baby.
Yeah. I do want to address this. Did I retire the WTC title? No, because the Jack of all trades title is actually a means to an end as far as the WTC brand goes. Think about how the X Division title was. I don't know if they still do it in Impact, but when the X Division title could be option seed into a championship match for the WTC title. That is essentially what the Jack of all trades title is. Now you can feel free to defend it as long as you want, but once you hit the 5 defenses, you have that opportunity to cash it in whenever you want. But
the NWA is doing that right now with their Lucky 7 for the World's TV title. So,
yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, no, the WTC title is not dead. And I am planning, hopefully, fingers crossed, of doing a legitimate trivia tournament beginning next month. I still have to confirm a whole lot of people for that. I will get with people probably after I'm done with this, but I'm WTC is not just Jack of all trades anymore. The trivia stuff is still happening. It's just a lot to put together. So
wait a minute. So just to be clear, the Jack of all trades champion at some point can cash in for a WTC title shot.
That is correct.
If you defend successfully 5 times first.
So you have to defend it successfully 5 times. Yep.
Jeff, if you defend it,
yes.
If you defend it successfully 5 times and you decide to challenge Greg, if that happens, I mean, you never know. Nico's not a part of it. If Nico's a part of the match, I'm probably going to lose. He gives me bad luck. But but if that happens and we get to see Jeff versus Greg again, I would gladly host that match.
You would have that opportunity. I think we were going to ask Aaron, but Aaron kind of washed his hands at WTC a couple years ago. So
yeah.
So I have no problem with you jumping in with your hosting duties and doing that.
No, and it'd be cool to have somebody with your trivia background and brand out there. It'd be great to have somebody like you hosted. Plus, like you said, 5 is a long way away. You figure that shows once a month, and I got to get through you and another person first, 2 other people first. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. It's a long road to hoe, which is why you get those 5 and then you get a shot at the title because you only work once a month, Jack of all trades wise, and then if you get through those 5 months, then it's like, God, do I really want to go completely out of retirement and just go after this guy again? That's the thing. So,
the story that would be told, the story told there.
Yes.
I am the official longest reigning champion in any of wrestling. I still was, even before Aldous lost the title. I was still ahead of him by a couple hundred days.
Yes.
So I still have that, and now I just get to extend my lead even further.
Yes. He is still chasing the beast, and I don't mean Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He's basically Brock. These people are going to start comparing you to Brock Lesnar soon, Greg. You ain't defended your title in like 300
they've been comparing me to Brock for a while. I'm chasing San Martino. I'm almost.
You need to defend, bro.
Hold on.
I want to see a defense. I want to see a legitimate title defense.
JB3 means lack of defense is not length of reign. However, if you go back and divide, if you divide the days he's been champion by 30. He's got a pace of once a month to defend the championship. So in old wrestling lore, he's good to go.
All I'm saying is this, is if he does it soon, he's going to have more matches in CWT than he has in WTC.
I don't know about that.
If there's another clash.
Well, if there's another clash, then probably. So San Martino's first WWE title reign was 2,803 days. I am at 1,271. So I am almost halfway to Bruno's reign.
Yeah. And like we talked about, I got to get the number in front of me again because I can't remember off the top of my head. I will get that up there right now. But I know that the last reign, it's not really the modern era because it was in the mid 90s. But Dan the Beast Severn as NWA champion the first time was champion. If I can get it to scroll, come on, baby. There it goes. Was champion for 1479. So, for all intents and purposes, world championship wise, that's the guy you're chasing.
There you go. All right, let's get into some of these Alabama state laws. I know I advertised it like 5 minutes ago, and then we got off track, but it's okay.
It happens. It happens.
Sure.
Kind of a transition. In Alabama, bear wrestling matches are prohibited.
Wow. Like bear as far as BEAR or bear as in naked?
Bear is in the animal.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think bear wrestling naked should be outlawed too, but I'm just confirming which one was right.
Well, if you want the other one, also in Alabama, this shouldn't surprise anybody, incestuous marriages are legal.
Yeah, you can't wrestle a bear, but you can marry your cousin. That's Alabama. There it is, right there. There's the state motto. You can't wrestle a bear here, but you can marry your cousin. Welcome to Alabama.
It is illegal to impersonate a person of the clergy.
That's why it's legal to marry your cousin, because he has somebody fake do it.
Yeah. It is illegal to maim oneself to escape duty.
Well, it depends. Is it customer? Is it what's what I'm looking for? Duty. When you go to jail, you don't go to jail. You serve. What the hell's the word?
Community service.
Community service. Thank you. So, if your duty is community service and you didn't go to jail for something you did, if you maim yourself, you're helping the county anyway by making it worse for yourself. So, whatever.
Yeah. Dominoes may not be played on Sunday.
Well, that's bullshit. That's terrible.
That's just weird.
Yeah. So
that's the point of the segment, JP3.
So
weird, bro.
So you can't wrestle a bear on any day or play dominoes on Sunday in Alabama, but as long as you have a proper member of the clergy, you can marry a blood relative. Okay. Cool.
These are the people that root for freaking Crimson Tide. All right.
Roll Tide, baby.
Never say that again on the show.
Hey,
I hate him too. Don't worry about it. I got
you. Can we say War Eagle?
Oh, whoa, there we go.
I mean, in Alabama, if you go into one of those bars and a Roll Tide bar, and you go down there and you, even to this day, you go in there and you say War Eagle, you could get stabbed.
You walk out of there so punch drunk, you end up marrying your cousin by accident. You say shit like that in the bar down there. So,
all my family lives in Alabama. And literally, that's probably 30% of the reason it's a malfunctioning, broken family is because of the war of Alabama Roll Tide versus War Eagle.
Oh, Auburn. Man, yeah, it's Auburn.
Not a lie.
Yeah, it's bad, really bad down there. Absolutely.
This seems extreme. Putting salt on a railroad track may be punishable by death.
Whoa. What happens if you put salt on a railroad track?
I'm guessing it screws up the wheels or something. Like it has to cause some like catastrophic thing for the train. Because if it doesn't, that seems very extreme.
Yeah,
someone's got to look into this, Greg. This is serious. I've never heard of that.
We were saying that for 50 weeks. Like, why are people looking into these laws? Like, why? Why is
I want to know what happens when you salt. I want to know what happens when you salt. Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah. No. He's answering the.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and again, we talk about this during the 45 administration. Why is the federal government not looking at these and going, excuse me, when it comes to these state laws, like what the shit? Pardon my language there, miss. Why is that a thing? Oh man.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyway, that was my that was my daughter.
I figured that's why I apologize for the language.
She didn't hear. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
But
cool.
Greg, seriously, after the show, sometime what happens when salt gets on a railroad track? I'm sorry, that's just getting me right now. I want to know.
We're going to do the research, and we'll be back with that.
Yes.
All right. Next up, it is legal to drive the wrong way down a one-way street if you have a lantern attached to the front of your automobile.
Which is why Bray Wyatt was so successful in Alabama before he got released.
Yeah.
We're here.
Here's my question. What's the point of a lantern when you have headlights?
Yeah. That goes into the weird thoughts category we do on the show sometimes. Like,
yeah.
Why do you need a lantern if you got headlights in your car? What?
Battery dies.
It's true. Well, but if the battery dies, the car's not moving anyway.
You need a lantern to see where you're parked.
There you go.
I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, Greg.
One of the thing is, though, when you're trying to make sure you and your cousin get to your honeymoon spot properly and the car dies, you gotta have a lantern to see what you're doing, right?
True.
You're stuck on that, Jeff. Please get off of that.
I want to get off on somebody's cousin. That's weird, dude. Why
crying out loud.
That's Alabama stuff. That's
Here's one that ages well during this time.
Oh, Lord.
Masks may not be worn in public. Oh, boy.
I would love to get a number on the COVID cases in Alabama versus the other 49 states, just for that alone.
That had to have been like a law before COVID.
It had to have been.
I'm sure, but like, you can't have luchadors in Alabama or something?
Well,
What about Fuego del Sol? What a rebel. What a rebel he is, right? He's not allowed to wear masks, but he does it anyway because wrestling. I like him even more.
Yeah. Well, look in the past. How often did WCW or WWE run Alabama back in the day, and how many luchadors were on the roster, especially WCW? So there you go.
Well, TNA ran their first show out of Alabama, so I'm trying to think if there are any luchadors or
the Johnsons were masked on the
that's right.
Which goes back to the whole marriage of cousins thing. So it all ties in together.
Less stuff needs to tie in with that. All right.
Yes.
Women are able to retain all property they owned prior to marriage in the case of divorce. This provision does not apply to men.
Damn. Alabama's stepping up like, all right.
That kind of makes sense the way things are down there.
Well, the thing is, considering I never, I don't want to keep my wife's stuff or her keep mine. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but she gets to keep your stuff if she chooses. Like that's the point.
Well, but then I just hire Barry Darso and everything's okay. And if you know, you know.
Yeah. This is, let's put this under the no shit category. It is illegal for a driver to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle.
No friggin' kidding.
How many people did this?
I was going to say, this is what I was coming back to you on this thing. How many people did this for? The government went, okay, we got to find a way to stop this.
Yeah, don't do this. Like, it's illegal. Why would you want to?
Yeah, did they film an episode of Jackass down there or something? And then get caught, and they were like, "Whoa, there, but not gonna."
Well, no, it's just Alabama, the best backward state that it is. Like I said, all these laws before this, and you can't drive blindfolded. Well, yeah.
You may not wear blue jeans down Noble Street.
What if it's from where you have on a Sunday? What are you supposed to do?
You better find different pants. Get track pants. Get like dress pants. Get shorts, not jean shorts.
Well, I suppose not. But what can you wear to a illegal bear wrestling match if you don't have anything besides your jeans? What do you do?
Black jeans.
Oh, there you go. Black jeans. There you
go. Right. You're over there. You're about to take your fine cousin on a date. You might get lucky. You want to go visit the illegal bear wrestling show that's over.
Go and just spray paint your jeans a different color. They won't know.
There you go.
Spray paint the American flag. They're not blue jeans. They're red, white, and blue jeans.
Now, you don't take your cousin out. You got to wear the good jeans.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Men who deflower virgins, regardless of age or marital status, may face up to 5 years in jail.
So you can't have cherry popping on this show, sex, but you can marry your cousin. This state is just getting weirder every time you say a
as long as she's not a virgin. Somebody else has to take care of it.
They gotta have their honeymoons in Nashville. That's just the way it's gonna be.
That's right. That's right. They got to cross state lines to deal with the mayoral reign of Kane before they do any carnal activity.
Somebody, for the love of God, donate $5 to do a spin, so I don't have to listen to incestuous marriage anymore. For the love of everything holy, please donate money. I have never begged on this show before, but I am doing it now for my own sanity.
You have done this to yourself, as Obi-Wan said to Anakin.
I know. I picked Alabama first. It's my own fault. Damn alphabet. All right.
School has wronged me again. Following the alphabet's done me wrong. See? Learning don't get nobody nothing.
There would be no politicians in Alabama. Well, hey, maybe the laws are doing some good then.
Right. Oh, man. By the way,
if we rid
politics is a
ourselves of all the politicians, we might be fine.
Yeah. Politics is a war t-shirt over at the Great Cherry Teespring store. So.
Yeah. Did I tell you? Oh, my gosh. I want to bring this up. I think somebody stole my freaking design. Because I searched the politics are a work thing, and I saw the design, and somebody like inverted the colors and they're selling it on their own. Those son bitches.
Oh man, that's terrible.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It is. It's so ridiculous too. It's like, if you like the shirt, just buy the shirt. Don't try and profit off of it. It was my idea.
Damn it, that's right.
You gotta start getting copyright, patent and shit, all the things. All the trademarks.
I mean, that is one of my like signature things. Yes, and for somebody to just take that as BS.
Yeah. For the record, this logo translates very well to a face mask. If you saw on social media, you guys know what I'm talking about. The other two, not so much as far as the Spring mask. So I'm going to have to find your options to. No, that's not your fault. That's Spring's lack of adaptability on their merchandise offerings. So, but luckily I've got this one for the cruise and other outings. So that'll be a heavily worn brand awareness thing for me going forward. Yeah. As long as we're in this damn COVID. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Let's see here. No person within the city may possess confetti.
Oh, again, there's so many things they do allow, but you don't allow confetti.
It's just weird.
It's
just all really weird, Greg.
Yes.
It's a really great title for this, by the way. Great title.
This was one of our favorite segments when we did the weird laws back. We ended a few months ago to go into weird thoughts or whatever. But the weird state laws are always fun because people some of the ones I reacted to, like that would get us the pop. Like the freaking reactions were just ridiculous.
No, it's crazy.
I would sit there and just go, "What?" to some of this shit. So.
Yeah, I always end up being on a show where there's a weird state law in some state that I lived in.
Right.
Every time.
Yep.
Never fails. All right. Couple more here. If one wishes to read palms in the city, they must first pay $10 for a permit.
I'm okay with that. However, if any Tom, Dick, or Harry can go pay $10 to get a palm reading permit, how do you avoid fraudulent soothsayers, if you will? How does that become regulated? How do you regulate that sort of thing?
That's weird. I honestly wouldn't pay to get my palm read.
Yeah, I don't want anybody touching my hands,
especially right now.
I have a lack of. I don't know. It'd just be weird, like pay money for that. Like, if I was gonna pay $10 to get my palm read, I would rather watch the Greg Cherry show and pay $10 for 2 spins.
Right, there you go.
And that's how you sell it.
That's right.
All right, next up. It is considered an offense to open an umbrella on a street for fear of spooking horses.
If it's raining, why are you taking your poor horse out to ride anyway?
Ever since the popularity of hoodies, umbrellas are kind of useless.
Yeah. Although
really and honestly.
Although I will say this, some hoodie, like for example, the fabric on this thing, if I have a hoodie, if I have my hood up and it's raining like it, I know it's rain in California because we're California, but when it rains here, it goes with gusto. If we're having that kind of rain pounding the top of my head, the fabric doesn't get ruined, but it defeats the purpose. I get soaking freaking wet. So I still bring an umbrella if I wear something like this or more of a like a sweatpants type material. If I'm wearing a raincoat, don't bring it. Just right off.
Well, it's because you're not used to like really cold weather, so you don't have like the big thick hoodies like we do in PA. So it's
Well, I beg to differ, and you know they're different because
all the hoodie.
Before I went to see you guys back in 2013, which was long ago enough where I still somehow remember it. I had that big old hoodie I brought with me that my grandmother bought me because she's like, you're going into cold weather where it's going to rain or snow. You're not equipped yet. Here.
It be getting cold. It be getting real cold. I'm actually kind of excited for the cold to come. I'm ready for winter. I'm ready for like some snow.
It hasn't gone above 80 degrees today. It's like, and we're in just September 1st. Like, dude, the weather's cooperating. But then Sunday it's gonna be 100 degrees. So.
I should find, if I can find it somewhere. I think it might be on YouTube somewhere. I might re-upload the episode, like the Rumble, like the best Rumbles that we did from like 2013, where we did that episode completely in the snow. Like it was -2 degrees -2 degrees Fahrenheit for anybody outside the US.
Yeah.
So it was really freaking cold.
Yeah, we were doing another show where we were I forget which one we were recording for my channel, and Flake started the show up, and then blizzard, like, oh shit, we had to rush inside, get clean, warm clothes on, and hide in the basement to record that next show because we don't want to deal with temperatures anymore.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
And I haven't done that since.
Yeah, no.
All right, the final one. It is illegal for a woman to drive a car unless her husband is waving a flag in front of it.
Well, would that be the family crest flag since they're cousins, or how does that work?
So only women can drag race?
Yes! That's scary. That's a scary thought in of itself. Anyway, now that we've done completely over the PC line, let's
My goodness. Nobody saved me. I'm disappointed, Indians.
You have failed us, Great Cherry Brand audience. You have failed us all.
It's okay. We're getting into the Q&A now. 10-minute Q&A because we know that
it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means.
It's Wednesday night. We want to get you guys watching Dynamite. So,
which is going to be the regular. It's going to be. I'm excited for Dynamite, and also I want. Which segment will Punk be in?
Right. It doesn't matter. Is the answer to that question.
Marshall asked this at the beginning of the show. I did want to touch on it because I know he asked it a couple times. But do you think Triple H will end up leaving WWE like Shane McMahon did back in the day over the fact that he's losing power similar to Shane in 2009? I feel like Shane is a different story. Shane had, I think he still does have outside interests other than WWE because he's Ideanomics, like he's on the board of directors or something there.
Shane never had a role in WWE as intense and as important as Triple H's though.
Well, no, but he was very much in charge of an entire division, that being, of course, .com. So I get there is not a complete, comparison, but the other thing is, like Greg said, Shane's had his hands in a few different cookie jars outside of the WWE business office.
Hey, imagine this. Sorry to cut you off. Imagine if Triple H did leave, and imagine if he created his own wrestling promotion. Do you think that he could have as much success as he had while he was running NXT without the WWE resources? If he just went up rogue and decided, I'm going to do my own promotion, how much success do you think Trips could have doing that?
It depends on how much Stephanie would be willing to help, because I'm sure Stephanie is WWE for life. I can't imagine like that's a family business, and I find it hard to believe that Triple H would do the same thing as Shane. But if Triple H showed up in AEW to help run the show,
that would be crazy.
I think Vince would lose his mind.
Yeah,
not that he hasn't already.
I think Triple H would do his own thing. I honestly think he would him and Sean. Think about that. Him, Sean, Road Dogg, they all have that experience now. They could probably run their own show. Imagine all the NXT talent that went to the main roster that's getting treated poorly. If Trips had his own promotion instead of AEW or including AEW, they'd go work for Triple H. I bet Triple H would do good. I honestly think he could run a promotion.
But would that oversaturate the market though? Like, you don't want
Maybe
to
for the
have
two companies.
too many promotions. Like, you
It'd be
can only
bad.
have.
It'd be bad for TNA and ROH. That's for sure.
Probably.
MLW probably. It'd be bad for a lot of them. I don't think AEW would be affected.
Probably
not. The quarter shirt that Greg finally had made reality on my merchandise store. Here's the thing. All the talent you just talked about are either locked up in contracts already, or they're with other companies locked up in contracts already. Yes, there is their forbidden door being edged open more and more every day. So a Triple H company could work with AEW, NWA, Impact, all those guys.
That's a great point.
However, would Triple H want to do? And again, if anybody in the executive suite over there at the tower would be willing to, work with other companies to better the business, it would definitely be Triple H. So I think he would do well on his own. However, I don't see it being a thing because regardless of how much business practice you have and what you're doing for the company, the bottom line is your 3 daughters are half McMahon. So do you really leave the family business just to do that? Or do you say, okay, whatever. That's where family versus profit goes head to head very, very roughly.
I tell you what, it would shake the wrestling world apart if that happened.
Oh,
yeah. It would definitely be a big story. Marshall also asked, because I don't think we actually went into what it was. What's the Jack of all trades about? I've been absent for a while due to working a lot. So, Marshall, if you're familiar with Quizlemania, Jack of all trades is basically Quizlemania with different rounds.
Right.
I don't take any rounds that they've done. I come up with my own, and then it's basically a fatal 4-way match each time. So, like I said, the September one is going to be Jeff versus JB3 versus Brandon Rutledge versus Adam Pearson, which I'm really looking forward to that match. So
we need Adam Pearson to shave his head and grow a goatee and walk around with 10 pounds of gold during the show. Just so I can be totally confused every time you say his name.
Yes.
Adam Pearson. I'm glad he's going to be I'm glad Adam Pearson is going to be on the show though. I'm glad. I've been waiting to see him.
Just a comment. Tim Phillips says, evening. Greetings from rainy North Carolina. North Carolina! Been a tough week, so I'm glad I was able to catch the stream. Got this on phone and got the Yankee game on mute on the TV.
If you're listening to us and you got the Yankee play-by-play muted, dude, we love you on levels.
Yes.
For real. Because the Yankees are the team, man. So, and again,
I don't know if their winning streak... I don't know if their winning streak ended. I haven't paid attention like the last week or so because they were at 13 last time I checked. So I don't know if they're still. And
we were talking about last week. The Dodgers were like how many in a row and like won their last. Both coasts are doing very well with the major market teams. I will say this though, there is no franchise I respect more than the Yankees because you respect that pinstripe, right? And they're the only team that I know of that still requires their guys to shave those ungodly beards. Because freaking base players look like hockey players right now. It's ridiculous. It's terrible.
So I want to bring this up because Josh and I made a bet it's probably about a month or so ago in regards to the NFL season that if any of our respective teams won the Super Bowl, we would have to wear the opposing jersey. So if the Steelers win their 7th ring, Josh will have to come on the Greg Cherry Show wearing one of my shirts that's the Steelers related one, the Here We Go one.
Right.
And if the Browns win the Super Bowl, I'm going to have to wear a Browns jersey on the Greg Cherry Show. So that is our bet. And I don't want to be no, you know what? I'm not even going to say it because as soon as I say it, I'm going to put bad things out and it's going to happen. So nope.
I will say this though. You have stepped up to the plate, sir. You're going to be the first challenger for Stepboy Mike's weekly challenge on next week's show, the season premiere, where we're back in the sports bar for the first time in a few months. So
that is true.
it's gonna be cool to see. Yep.
I'm going to be joining him on Stat Boy Sports Bar doing the predictions for week 1, and it's going to be. I'm so glad football season's back, and I'm going to get into it because Sunday night Notre Dame starts their season against Florida State. Man, I'm so excited for that game. I'm so glad Big G had his wedding on the day before Notre Dame football. I've told him that multiple times. Yeah,
he picked a great day in terms of not having to miss Notre Dame. He picked a terrible day in terms of pay-per-view. Oops. So for AEW, but
well, all out's the same day as the Irish game, so it's the Sunday.
Oh, it's just on Sunday. I forgot it's on Sunday. That's on Saturday. That's right. Okay.
So again, and damn it, Cody, like you did this with All In when Notre Dame played Michigan in 2018. Stop scheduling pay-per-views when Notre Dame opens their season. Knock it off.
That's
I'm
right.
so glad you said that, Greg, because I was waiting to say, go blue.
Oh, frick.
By the way, Tom Brady was on Michigan. By the way,
I know. My gosh. I know he was.
Did he say the M word on your show? Did it actually happen?
I know he's a Wolverines fan, okay? I know that.
That team up north.
Yeah.
They're great. I love that they make you feel that way, Greg and Jeff now.
To be fair, my family is based out of Ohio. We have to hate you guys just when we come out of the womb. We're like, okay, first word, dad, second word, that team up north.
Yeah.
Did you just say Ohio?
The Ohio State.
Oh, boy.
Go Die-Ho. That's what I call that state.
Oh, all right. Jack O'Trade's going to be good.
The Yankees have lost 4 straight.
Oh, shit. Well, there went that streak clear in the can.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm primarily an Angels fan, so I have nothing to say whatsoever.
Wasn't that supposed to happen at All Out?
Yeah, it's supposed to be all out, not tonight.
Unless they advertised it for Dynamite, but I really thought Pac and Andrade was supposed to be All Out.
No, I have the graphic that says it's supposed to be Sunday. I think I do anyway.
No.
I think I still have it.
I thought too. All Out is a packed card, by the way.
If the Chiefs win a Super Bowl again this year, would you wear a Chiefs jersey on the Greg Cherry Show? Yeah, if you send me one.
And there you go. All Out Sunday, Pac and Andrade. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was All Out and not tonight.
Yeah.
CM Punk's coming back, man.
There he is.
So I will say the thing is, though, I can't bet on the Cowboys winning Super Bowl because then I'll never wear my own colors on my own show or your show ever again. So I don't want anybody to have that drama attached to them. But although, to be fair, the last time I did a bet like that with my buddy Lisa, I ended up getting a Vancouver Canucks jersey that I don't yet ever have to wear because the Kings don't whoop that ass in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Go Red Wings.
Dude, I quit.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I don't mind this much more because they're in the Eastern Conference now. That's fine. Just sail in the East, and I'm good with you guys until June. I'm okay with that.
It was always weird to me that they were in the Western Conference before. I was always weirded out by that.
You have to remember how many teams there were and how they had to divide the country up, essentially.
Right.
So,
but I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is, though.
Yeah, I mean, and now luckily we have Seattle now, so the division actually makes sense to have a Pacific division be, Pacific teams. So.
All right, we are just about at the 8 o'clock time period. So JB3, Jeff, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
And if you want to check out next week's Greg Cherry Show, we'll be doing that all over again. Weird Laws is coming back as always. The wheel is here as it always is. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Let's get people subscribed to the Greg Cherry brand. Let's do this so that we can have what we've been wanting for more than a year now. We want this. Cherry for Quizlemania. They know I exist. It's not that. It's just, let's make it happen, everybody. Cherry for Quizlemania. Thank you all very much for joining us. For JB3, for Jeff Meacham, I am Greg Cherry, and we will see you next week right here on the Greg Cherry Show. Where's the overlay? There it is. Good night, everybody.